You seem to have had a long day today. How's it been for you so far?
Yeah, it's been a long day. I've had plenty of those though, so I'll be fine.
Oh, what I wanted to ask you before we get into the whole interview is, being somebody that people, when they see you, there's an energy about you, you know, they see you as a positive person. You know, a lot of people that meet you, you make moments in their lives.
Right.
So for who makes the moments for you? Where do you get your energy from?
Oh man, you know, it's nothing like spending time with my family. Like before I came down here, I actually got to spend Mother's Day with my grandmother and my aunts and, you know, my little cousins. They used to be little girls. They're going to proms now. And, you know, my little brothers are about to graduate. You know, so that weekend at home before coming abroad was definitely like something that gave me enrichment and enlightenment and just a positive vibe around leaving home. But you know, I definitely would say my family more than any figure in entertainment.
Now, touching on your brother, I know he's younger than you.
I got two brothers.
And obviously there's been a situation with Trayvon Martin in America, that whole unfortunate situation. Like, when you saw that and seeing how Obama like responds to that type of situation, as a black African American, how did it make you feel about that incident?
You talking about Trayvon?
Yeah, Trayvon, yeah.
You know, the fact that something like that could happen is very painful. You know what I mean? To know that that's even possible and that, you know, it was 2 months before anything was even done about it. You know, I try not to watch the news too much, and that may sound ignorant, but the news is very depressing and very, very much enlightening on how the evil in the world is not a such thing as the good news. You know what I mean? When you watch the news, there's not amazing news coming on. There's not, you know, all the good in the world being showcased. It's always the bad. So that really touched home for me, knowing that I have younger brothers and knowing that something like that could possibly go down and that it could be no justice prevail, you know what I mean, or no attempt at justice. And you know, I know Obama has a lot of things on his plate. I don't know specifically how he dealt with that. I don't know when he spoke on it or any of that, because like I said, I stay away from negativity, and I feel like the news is full of that. I stay informed by the people around me on what's going on, but for the most part, man, all you could do is pray.
All right, so let's get into the music. Heart Attack. Can you tell me kind of like the studio session when you actually created that single?
Oh man, shout out to Rico Love and Benny Blanco actually for helping with that record and you know, thinking that I was the one that could pull it off. You know, it's a very big sounding record. You know, as soon as it opens up, you know, with those big O's and the big drums, and it's a vulnerable record that has movement and still has a knock to it. You know what I mean? You could play that in the club, even though it's talking about heartbreak and heartache. And the truth of the matter is, in any relationship, it's hard. It's hard work if you're really trying to make it work. You know, being in love is not easy. It may be at first. It may be something that it's all peaches and cream and all fine and dandy before you really get to know a person and you're really trying to make it work. And you know, within those moments, love can hurt. And that's what that song is about, and showing women that men have those emotions as well, not only women. You know, although we may be very bravado and be very much sticking our chest out and full of confidence, we have those moments where we feel like, man, help me out here.
Last time we spoke, I was asking you, how do you deal with people wanting to know Trey Songz, the artist, or Trey Songz, the person? That was 2 years ago. How do you deal with it now? Has it changed? You know, when people come up to you, it's Trey, you know, the artist. So how do you know if they're really are sincere?
I mean, the way you deal with it, you get better at it. I mean, it really doesn't change. Not for me anyway. You know, I was raised to trust people until you give them a reason not to. But you know, I obviously have guards up and barriers around and things I look for. And I've been betrayed. I've been I've had situations where as though it's been proven that people are in whether friendship, relationship, business for the wrong reasons, and that's something that happens in life. Whether you're a successful entertainer or whether you're an everyday person, you have people that want to be around you or want some of your energy and your space for the wrong reasons. And you know what you have to do with that is learn from those situations and move forward. You know, you can't place that burden on every person that comes after them, whether it be in a relationship or a friendship. You can't think that all people are the same.
So with that being said, on the new album, what would be your deepest song and why?
I would say the deepest song on the new album, it's a couple deep records, but Without a Woman is a very real song. It's a basic description of what the world would be like for a man without a woman. And that's something that as men we really would have to come to terms with if you ever really sat back and think of how women make this world go around. I know we think it's a man's world and all that, but nothing really happens without women, you know what I mean? And this song is very much a tribute to women and a wake-up call to men who may be not on the right track with their woman. You know, it's just basically saying a man can't be a man without a woman.
What would it take for a man to settle down?
For a man to settle down, or for me to settle down?
Well, you're the man of the moment.
Yeah,
you're the man,
you talking about a man, that ain't got shit to do with me.
What would it take to settle down?
For me to settle down, it would take, my career would definitely have to take a back seat to my life, actually. And my life now takes a back seat to my career.
But then with that, because I know you want to have like a big family.
Yeah.
So do you have goals that you have to tick off in the music business first before you'll then seek off?
Definitely. Whether they're, I don't write down goals and go get them. You know, I know a lot of people do that, but I just kind of try to outdo myself, outdo my last, and although this is a competition in every sport, and I look at this industry as a sport because it's numbers and it's money and it's achievements and it's championships, et cetera, you know. I'm only really in competition with myself, you know, although it is, you know, a fun competition to look over and see what your homie doing and see, you know what I mean? For me, it's all about bettering me, bettering the music I make, bettering my fan experience, bettering my business, bettering myself as a man. And the truth is there's a lot I want to accomplish in the music industry. There's a lot I want to accomplish as a businessman, and I haven't done a lot of those things yet, although I have done a lot. I feel like I'm just getting my feet wet and the ceiling is very high for me, you know. But love is one of those things you can't put a time on. Love will come and smack you upside the head and say it's time for me to come through, you know, and that's what you got to deal with. You can plan your life, but you know, God just laugh at you.
The album, when you created it and then you turn it in, do you still feel a pressure when it comes down to the release date?
Release date, I don't even have one right now. It's funny you should ask that, because I don't care. I want to be, I'm very much a student of the game, you know. I study my fan base. I could tell you my demographic. I could tell you what percentage my clothing line is selling. I could tell you how many merch units I sold last week. I could tell you, and I say all that to say, I could tell you how many Twitter followers I get per day. And what I say that to say is that I'm very much looking at the climate, meaning that music and the way people listen to it in the industry within itself and technology changes daily. You know what I mean? And I don't want to constrict myself to the systematic boundaries of what it takes to put an album out or push an artist forward, because I'm not trying to put an album out. I'm trying to create a brand that has longevity to last years. It's not about this album. It's about the album after that and after that and after that and after that. It's not about this single. It's about this album. It's about, you know what I mean, with a system of music being sold disposable. I want to understand what's changed. I want to understand how fast Heart Attack goes to top 5 urban versus Can't Be Friends. I want to understand how fast my record will grow here this year, as I want to be a bigger international artist. I want to understand how to reach my fan base in Australia within the same time period. And if I do that while putting the album date out, before knowing how the climate is changing and knowing what happens before testing things out, I probably won't be happy with the results. So I'm just taking my time.
I'm glad you get that message. Finally, we got an interviewer who knows his shit. No, I'm serious, because that's just what it's really all about, man. How do you feel about that?
Shit, what if I fucking collapse and I just can't do this shit no more? Then what? Like, who I'ma depend on? Because really and honestly, all I got is me.